So that's kind of how I grew up, just seeing my dad and how he never showed emotion.
Yeah.
He still doesn't show emotion.
Yeah.
Love him to death, but
For sure.
he doesn't show emotion.
Until you see some kind of softness, vulnerability.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
really what
That's
it is when you're talking about emotion, because as a black man, there is no arena to be soft.
And so I'm careful. Like, I'm not afraid to show my emotions, but I'm picky and choosing in regards to when I'm gonna let somebody that close to me, or if I'm gonna really show emotion. Because anybody who meets me or anybody who knows me will tell you, man, he's so easy to get along
And
with.
I know all of y'all have felt this before, and since we talk about men showing emotions, you have been at home, like watching a movie,
Yeah.
you know, one of your favorite movies, and instead of that joint, got teary-eyed on some of them parts.
Good to see you again, brother. Good to see you again, brother.
Good to see
Good to see you again.
Oh, what up? What up, everybody good?
Yeah, man.
It's all
Everybody
good.
good?
All right.
Let's
Y'all
do
ready?
this.
Hey,
Let's do this.
I'm
another
excited,
one.
man.
Yeah.
Excited.
It's another one. Somebody got a pick.
Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh.
What is
all
your?
right.
It's long,
All
man.
right, here we go. All right. What is the problem with men showing their emotions?
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Let me see if they say that. It said,
They say that.
what is the problem with men showing their emotion?
Before we get into it, I'm going to answer it with a question. Is there really a problem with the man showing emotion?
Oh.
Is there a problem with it? Not necessarily what is the problem, but is there a problem to begin with?
I used to think that there was a problem with it, and I grew up my dad is military, so I'm like,
yeah. Let's talk about it.
I'm like, okay, well that's the man I see,
Yeah.
so I got to be the same way.
Most definitely.
You can't be weak in the military.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
No.
So that's kind of how I grew up, just seeing my dad and how he never showed emotion.
Yeah.
He still doesn't show emotion.
Yeah.
Love him to death, but
For sure.
he doesn't show emotion. And it's funny, one time, I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what I did,
Yeah.
but he looked at me and he said, "Why don't you care?" I said, "I do care. I'm not showing emotion.
Just don't let everybody
I'm
know.
passive aggressive."
Yeah.
And I think at that point he saw in his own eyes how he was towards me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
And so what age was that?
This was, man, I was probably like 15, 16
15. Okay.
at that
yeah.
point.
Yeah. Well.
When he saw that, did he change?
No.
No.
He's still military. He's still military.
But he saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, I guess my situation is kind of like yours, because my dad was a police officer.
Mhm.
So, he worked family violence. So,
Oh, yeah.
when you see things, as I got older, I understand now, but, all the loving was from my mama.
Right.
And I think just from the older generation to the younger generation, until you see some kind of softness, vulnerability.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
really
That's
what it
it.
is when you're talking about emotion, because as a black man, there is no arena to be soft.
Right.
Like, you can't be soft at school.
No.
You can't be soft at the boys' club. Mama tell you don't be soft.
Right.
Now don't be soft, and for sure don't come to daddy with that.
Right.
So there is no, and with the black man in the prison system, you can't be soft. Like there ain't no soft nothing. Like your weakness is what people prey on.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's
when you
true.
have those kind of emotions and that's passed down, and then you don't have a lot of male in the household.
Right.
As a black man, you just kind of or as a black youth, you just trying to go for what you know.
I'm gonna ask y'all three, since y'all three are all fathers and I'm not, in regards to men showing emotion. Y'all three got kids. How is it showing your emotions to your kids?
Man, that's crazy. I have a daughter.
Yeah.
Me
this-
too.
And you've already realized, like, the manner in which you carry yourself is gonna dictate the type of cat she bring to your door one day.
All of that. That's true. A lot of people don't think that, but it's true. I also had a problem with showing emotions, being a dude,
Yeah.
being a black male.
Exactly.
Everything you said,
Yeah.
some of what he said,
Yeah.
it's just how you're conditioned. You're
Yeah.
conditioned, you can be happy. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be happy.
Yeah.
You are supposed to be happy all the time. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
And if you're mad, it needs to be extreme.
Yeah.
You know,
Something dire needs to be
something
happening.
dire needs to be happening. Other than that, you need to chill. You know, you need to. So with my daughter, man, it has brought emotions out of me. You know, like I have to.
Yeah.
Like I have to show her emotion. Like I have to show her love.
Yeah.
I have to show her that I care. You know, I have to show her that I'm easy to get along with. You know, I have to get her to understand that her emotions are important.
Yeah.
That she doesn't have to hold those emotions in. She can talk to us about anything,
Yeah.
how she feels,
Yeah.
happy, sad, confused.
Kind of like when you said when we met last time and had the conversation, there was the emotion that my wife saw aside, and then now with the daughter, that's the same side because you can't like. It ain't nothing that's gonna have me to where I can turn my back on her.
Yeah.
Like you know,
Right.
with the woman, it's like, hey, if you do something bad enough, that's a wrap. But with your daughter, it's just like,
You there? You there?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
it.
So that's the emotion thing for me
Mhm.
with having a kid.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you got it.
I say that I don't like showing my emotions still to this day, even though I know I need to.
It's hard.
I have a battle inside, and I tell people I cry twice a year, average about once every 6 months. You know, I
Yeah.
calculate this.
Yeah.
I cry once every 6 months, but I never cry in front of people.
Yeah.
I typically cry in my truck when I'm driving.
Because
And
it's for
just,
you.
Yeah, when I'm by myself, I just have that struggle showing it in front of people just because of
Yeah.
what I'm conditioned to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing, man.
Weak. That's what they equate man showing emotions.
yeah.
Which is so backwards.
They
though,
they equate that with
It's so
being
backwards.
weak, man.
Remember what we talked about the counseling?
That,
Oh, yeah.
that goes along with
It's
that.
so backwards. I would say, like, in regards to my own experience, my dad didn't necessarily not show emotion, but I think he picked and chose the spots. And so I'm careful. Like, I'm not afraid to show my emotions, but I'm picky and choosing in regards to when I'm going to let somebody that close to me or if I'm going to really show emotion. Because anybody who meets me or anybody who knows me will tell you, like, man, he's so easy to get along with. But whether I'm angry or sad or upset about something or whatnot, I think I'm just what's the word used? I just say
Reserved.
picky. Reserved.
Poised.
I'm reserved. I'm very calculated in regards to who I'm going to kind of reveal that part of myself to. Because like you just said, you know, people will prey on you.
Yeah.
If you're not careful.
If you're not careful.
If you're not careful, if you're around the wrong people
Yeah.
and you show that weakness, somebody making a mental note.
Yeah.
And I say that only because I know I'm somebody like I don't like speaking out of turn. And like I just can't help it. Like I'm an observer. Like people used to tell me all the time, like you talk too much. And I used to tell my mom, like, man, ever since I talk too much, people don't realize I'm listening twice as much as you talk.
Right.
That's always
See,
been.
That's why God gave you 2 ears
Yeah.
and one mouth.
I'm listening a whole lot more than you think I'm talking.
Most definitely.
And so I would say in regards to, in regards to showing emotion, we got to get to a point to where it's not seen as a form of weakness. Because me personally, I feel like if you're secure enough in yourself to actually show emotion, that's the biggest sign of strength that I think.
Yeah.
You know, it don't take no real action or no real strength to be like, okay, I'm just gonna stay hard. I'm just gonna not show.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be stoic for my whole life. Like, well, okay, at a certain point you become inhumane.
Exactly.
Like you just said, you got a daughter. You got
I'm
a
gonna tell
daughter.
you when I'm gonna
You
tell you
got
some
kids.
crazy
Like
stuff.
you gonna be rough around your kids like that too.
I'm gonna tell you some crazy stuff. And I know all of y'all have felt this before. And since we talk about men showing emotions, you have been at home, like watching a movie.
Yeah.
You know, one of your favorite movies, and instead of that joint, got teary-eyed on some of them parts.
Oh,
And that.
I mean,
You know, like, or then got mad, or then
like when you don't have kids, your well-being is contained. But once you have kids, you start thinking about other people's kids.
Yeah.
And all of that, and that's what will change you. Because as long as you don't have to worry about nobody but yourself, then you can do things that are reckless. You know, like I have a motorcycle, so you know, people be like, "Let me ride." I be like, "No." Like you putting your life in my hands when we get on this highway.
Right.
Because when we ride, we gonna ride.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, once you find somebody that will take that kind of ride with you, then, you know, you got somebody that's willing to ride for you forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's...
Let me ask you, all of y'all,
All right.
since you were talking about movies,
Mhm.
y'all cried at a movie or in a movie?
Oh, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one, man?
She going
It better not be something stupid.
Oh man.
No, man.
Kid movies and nothing.
Like Finding Nemo.
Frozen.
Unless
Friday
it's
Frozen.
Lion King.
No,
that was sad.
yeah, that was sad. No, serious, man. Like, Color Purple.
Yeah.
That's a deep one. Growing up, man, roots, because I'm from Mississippi.
Yeah.
When I was young, I remember me being like 6 years old. Like I
It speaks to you in a certain
listen
way.
to me, man. Like I remember being in my mama and daddy's room watching this on television and having to leave out the room. You know what I'm saying? Like in full tears. I guess those are the two that I can remember right now. Something from my early childhood, and something that like right now.
What about y'all?
I'm like you, man. I probably cry maybe one time a year, and really, it's if I really have something that I really want to get off my chest. But like you, I mean, I'm so reserved because if I get to the point where I'm angry, then I'll make a mistake. You see what I'm saying? So mine, especially if it's in a relationship, I don't want to get to the point to where we're doing stuff temporarily.
Yeah.
Like most people, you get into an argument and then you start hitting, and then you really want to continue this relationship, so you have done something to jeopardize that now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to get to the point to where I make one mistake that could
Mess up
end up being a
everything.
lifetime mistake.
You know
So
what?
that's why I stay out for the until I get real mad. Because when I get real mad, it's like you mad. And I want to
Clearing
be
the house at that point.
Yeah, well, see, I don't even want to be down that road
Mhm.
because then it's just like having emotions in business. Like as soon as you start getting emotional, then you stop thinking about what's really good because now you put your emotions in.
That's for real.
Yeah. It's
You
funny
start
that,
making
that you
mistakes.
mention that because every time that I'm in an argument with my wife, I start to think of one movie, one particular moment. In that movie, he got game. When he got mad and he pushed his wife, she hit her head on the oven or something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You feel me?
That for some reason that always sticks in my mind when I'm mad, and I'm like, I just need to calm down because I don't want an accident to change the whole direction of my life.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would say like the two movies that just jump off to like the top of my head. I would say when they killed Malcolm.
Oh,
Because I was like, even at a young age, it was like, okay, I kind of realized even then, like, he was figuring it out.
The magnitude.
Yeah, the magnitude, like, when they killed Malcolm and then when they killed Ricky and Boys in the Hood.
Oh,
And the thing is, like, when I saw it, I wasn't young enough to realize just the magnitude, just like the overarching message of the movie. But I was like, I wanted to be a football player. In my mind, I was like, dang, he can't play
Everybody
football
was-
no more.
Look, man, if you dark
Like, he
skinned
done.
and you went through that era, you was Ricky. And you
Yeah.
play ball? What, man?
Yeah.
That was like, I got the football everywhere I go.
Like-
Everybody said
Yeah.
you gonna make it. An outlet. Like,
Yeah.
and he had the clean box with it. Come on, man, Ricky. Hey,
Yeah, but then
hey,
when
man,
they
please.
killed Malcolm, said the wool had been taken from him. He no longer he saw what it
That boy
really
woke.
was.
That boy
Yeah,
woke.
he was woke for real. He saw
Yeah.
what it really was.
Yeah, they ain't like him, man, like that.
And
Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
he started kind of making changes. Like he done really figured it out. Like,
Yes,
you
sir.
go back now and watch, like this cat was really fin. Like
Man.
he got killed because people was afraid what he's about to do.
Man, that's a lot of that.
Amongst other things that was
Yeah.
going on.
Every black leader is getting murdered because they don't want us to have no leadership. And as long as black people don't have leadership, then you had a sheeping going on.
Yeah.
And then you jockeying for a position. But as soon as somebody come forward, just like the young activist that just got killed in, I think, what,
Oh,
Louisiana?
yeah.
Like,
the guy
man,
who was had the Black Lives Matter.
Come
wasn't
on, man. Like, if you don't really think that it's a force out there that don't want to see black people succeed, then you sleepy. Like, like, man, hey, I'm
So,
talking about tightening it up
To
to
flip
real.
it, to flip it right quick though, I think the coldest scene I ever saw with a guy who just refused to show emotion was Denzel in Glory when he got whipped.
Oh,
When he was
man.
like, I refuse to break.
Say,
That was one of the coldest scenes I've ever seen in my life in a movie.
Hey, man, that's real talk.
That was cold blooded.
yeah, man.
So let me ask you this: is there a limit to what emotion you can show if you are a man?
I don't think it's a limit to it, but you got to be careful. And one, in what emotions you display. Two, in what form you display them in. Because he just made a point. it can't really be no emotions when you talking about business. Like, we talking about paperwork, we talking about dollars and cents on this paperwork, and we gonna get that handled first, and then you can take your feelings and handle that after this meeting is over with and we got signatures on the right X's and lines.
Listen,
You start thinking with your heart in business, it could be a wrap.
sign the deal, and then we can take it to the grass. We gonna sign the deal though,
Right.
and then we can take it to the grass if you're emotional.
Right.
But as men, the part of maturity is conflict resolution.
Yes.
You feel me? Like I shouldn't have to take it to that. Like little boys, the reason why they fight is because I don't really want to deal with the issue. So when I get mad, we gonna fight.
Yeah.
And most of the people that have that gene that really can't control their emotions, they end up in jail.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yes, sir.
you
Uh-huh.
can't control yourself
Uh-huh.
in a situation, and now your future's jeopardized
And
off
that-
emotion.
You just said resolution is problem solving skills.
Problem
Uh-huh.
solving.
And you-
Come on,
and
man.
you know what?
Critical thinking.
Yes.
But it goes back to emotions and not being able to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because talking
Communicate.
plays a big part
Yep.
of being able to show your
Yeah,
emotions.
yeah.
I mean, being a former educator in the field that I was in, behavior modification,
Come on now.
you saw all of that.
Yeah,
You know,
you reading
this stuff
people.
is emotional, man. Like
it's a science too.
it's a science to it, man. I was really good at what I did.
Yeah.
You know, it was emotional, man. You know, you're dealing with kids that just have behavior problems.
Yeah.
and they don't know how to solve a problem.
Yeah.
They don't know how.
They only know one way to do
They
it.
know one
It's-
way.
It's
Yeah.
destructive.
Or it's super destructive.
Yeah.
You know, it may start off small, and they may be trying to get your attention,
Yeah.
and you still not listening to
Yeah.
them, and then eventually it progresses
Yeah.
into
Just like
something
a baby.
totally- just like a baby, man.
Baby just wants your attention, but they can't talk right now, so I'm gonna holler.
I'm gonna get your attention.
Some kind of way.
No, that strikes a nerve because that's what my son be doing. I'm like, what do you want? I'm like, that strikes a nerve.
Yeah, that's
But
real.
I do feel like there is a limit that you can show emotion because you show weakness, people are gonna exploit it. I take it to basketball when I'm hooping.
Yeah.
If I see that one weak cat,
Mhm.
I'm
That's
going
what
after
I
him.
got
I'm
to.
going after him
Yeah.
because in the end, it's gonna be one person's gonna be embarrassed.
Yes.
go.
So it's gonna be you, or it's gonna be me, and I'm not gonna let it be me.
Not
you know what I'm
today,
saying?
not
So
today.
eventually, boy, down, it's gonna be me or him.
There you
Yeah.
go.
It ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I tell you what, that's
I
one
mean-
down.
You got two choices. Either you gonna fold up or you gonna stand up. And
Man.
I said yesterday, folding up ain't an option in my house.
And we call it put up or shut up.
Hey, same thing.
Same
after the-
thing, because at the end of the day, you can stay in that low place if you want to, and you can dwell in that low place if you want to, but don't not live down there.
Yes, sir.
But the great common denominator is belief.
Belief.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
And so many people, talk about what you believe in, what you don't believe in. As long as you believe in something, then you're gonna have that will.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Because as long as you have hope, as long as you know there's something at the end of this,
Man.
that has to motivate you to get back up and keep going.